Although we had a pretty good day yesterday, the rain has decided to set in the UK today.
There is a rain warning in force for Wales, central southern areas of England.
Which makes it a really good day to do some maintenance. So this machine has had about 1,902 flights since the beginning of the year, and it's had 2 tail belt replacements so far already, and we're going to replace the belt on this one for the 3rd time. It's actually been a pretty good model. I've had one incident with a bad auto where I broke both skids and put a dent in the boom and bent the tail output shafts. Other than the crash, the only other replacements I've made is I've replaced the thrust bearings once and I've replaced the dampers once. So we'll be redoing those soon as well. It's actually cost me under $400 to get that 1,900 flights out of it, which is not bad at all. But in general, the model just doesn't seem to wear out, which is great. So let's get on with changing the tail belt. Before we do anything, let's get the blades out of the way. The first thing we're going to do is remove the 3rd bearing block. This will allow us to slip the tail belt underneath without actually removing the main shaft. Now we loosen the boom so we can move it forward and then get the tail belt off the pulley. On the back end, we won't need to disassemble the whole tail. Simply take the pulley out and the spacer, and then if we remove the tail from the boom, the belt will come out. Let's give the tail assembly a clean while we're here. So there's a little bit of slop just in the tail output shaft, but that's easy to fix. There is a grub screw here. And we're just going to shift that up a little bit, take that slop out, and that should be it. Perfect. So after around 600 flights, the old tail belt is actually still in pretty good condition. It's lost some of the height on the teeth, but there's still plenty left. We're going to start replacing the new belt by putting it back onto the pulley under the roller. Instead of putting Loctite on the threads, I'm going to put it on the receiving end. This ensures that we don't actually have Loctite spread all the way down the inside of the pulley and the spacer. That still runs freely, so we're looking pretty good. So to get the belt down the boom, I'm going to use an old trick where you put a washer on the end of the belt. And it should just drop straight down the boom. Easy. And don't forget to remove the washer. Now let's reassemble the boom and tail assembly. I'm just going to check the belt tensioner here, but that's spot on, just a tiny amount of spring. And now we come to the trickiest part of the reassembly. So first we have to make sure that the belt orientation is the right way around. So as the main blade sweep forward, the tail blade should sweep forward underneath. And then to get the belt through the guides, what I do is I use a long hex driver and that should push straight through. Then it's just a case of pushing the boom all the way in, getting the belt over the pulley and tensioning that back out again. And the last task is getting that 3rd bearing block back in place. We'll give the screws a quick clean, new Loctite, and we're all done. And that's it, all done. So this takes less than 5 minutes to replace the belt from beginning to end, which is probably the fastest I've ever been able to do it on any helicopter. Right, blades and canopy on next, and then we can put it away. And there we are. Good to go for another 600 flights.